We're living in a weird time, which some segments of society seem to have taken steps backward with the rise online of so-called trad wives. These are women who embrace a 1950s housewife role with their husbands and something of a backlash to feminism. Writer and critic Sophie Gilbert thinks some of this started with the pop culture of the late 90s and early 2000s with reality TV and the objectification of stars like Britney Spears and Jessica Simpson.
Her book is Girl on Girl, How Pop Culture Turned a Generation of Women Against Themselves. And Sophie joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
The whole media objectification of women, I mean, that discussion was going on in the 70s and 80s. Is there something different about it in the 90s and the 2000s?
Yeah, I think you can see a lot more in the culture of the 90s and the 2000s, the influence of porn, which was just becoming so incredibly popular during that era with the rise of the internet. And I think people know that, but what was illuminating to me during the research for my book was how much it bled into the culture of the time, the music, the movies, the TV, even the fashion.
So, I mean, I guess we're thinking like Madonna was more empowering and the Britney Spears were more falling into, I'm walking like in the skirt through the hallway in that baby video. I don't know. Tell people what the difference is, because pop stars are pop stars.
I think Madonna was very much a full-grown woman, and she had her own agenda, and she was great at projecting her own desires and her own ambitions as an artist. And then Britney came along, and she was, I think, 16 years old when Baby One More Time came out. And obviously her first video was this image, this sort of indelible image of her in a school uniform dancing in a hallway. But it was, I think most of us could tell, teenagers at the time, how heavily sexualized it was. And she just didn't seem to have any of the power or the agency that Madonna had. And so a lot of the research for the book was trying to figure out how we got from this era of outspoken, impassioned female artists to much more kind of pliant and passive teenagers.
Yeah, and I wonder, well, you kind of made the point. Madonna was a little bit older than Britney Spears. Was there something about the 90s that opened the world of celebrity up to maybe younger people?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the 90s, you had this sort of real sense of third wave feminism as a powerful movement. And it came across a lot in music, where you had the Riot Girl movement. You had artists who were, fierce about advocacy, and they were very outspoken about things like sexual assault. And they were very much of a piece with this movement in third wave feminism that was felt in like the Year of the Woman and record numbers of women running for office. But what happened throughout the course of the 90s was a sort of loss of momentum, I think, for feminism. And you can see it really with the emergence of the Spice Girls as musicians who had reclaimed this mantra, girl power, that had come from the Riot Girl movement. But the way that the Spice Girls used it, it was much more celebratory. It sort of didn't really have an agenda for change. And it was much more, I think, about the Spice Girls were very effective salespeople for products. And once people saw how much money could be made from pop stars, it was really the beginning of the end for the women of rock and the beginning of this new age of much younger and much more sexualized stars.
And we remember the paparazzi hunting down these young girls and taking pictures, and also some of the movies like American Pie. It was very like, it went back to like those early days of the 70s and 80s, like these, boy in high school kind of fantasy movies and stuff like that. So that was a step back.
Yeah, there was this very heavy sexualization of teenage girls in movies, really starting in the late 90s. But American Pie was such a hit, and it created this new kind of adolescent, I would say, mode of filmmaking that was very popular in the 2000s with movies like Knocked Up and the Scary Movie franchise. And I think, having watched them all as a teenager and being in my early 20s, I had forgotten how sexist a lot of them are, like really, really prophetic almost in ways. I think American Pie's use of non-consensual pornography is really interesting on that front. But when you watch them now, obviously with modern context, they seem very different.
And
well, let me ask you about, I'm curious, how did this become, girl on girl? The name of your book is Girl on Girl. So are girls turning on each other, or what's your premise on that?
I think my take throughout the book is that the popular culture of really the 2000s, but also of the 90s and of the early 2010s, it persuaded women, I think, to really turn on themselves and to focus on the ways in which they might not be good enough, to sort of think of themselves as objects of desire, and to focus on their own failings in ways that distracted them from what they might want to achieve in the world at large. And it was a sort of a real focus on sexual power for women that I think blunted a lot of the momentum of the women's movement.
So do you think it's going the other way? You see these, sometimes on TikTok, you don't know how many of these people are trad wives or people that maybe just want to get married and stay home and have kids. There's nothing wrong with that. Has it kind of shifted the momentum the other way for girls?
I mean, I think the internet kind of makes everything more extreme. So you definitely have new kinds of voices talking about, very conservative old ideas like staying home and being enthralled to their husbands and, fetishizing the role of the homemaker. But there's so much greater diversity of different voices online now. You can find, more feminist voices. You can find real women talking about inclusion online. There's so much more out there that is easier to access. And that, I think, is the thing that gives me hope, that it's not just this very narrow, heavily sexualized idea of what women should be, which was so ubiquitous in culture across the 2000s.
Well, the book is Girl on Girl, How Pop Culture Turned a Generation of Women Against Themselves. You can get more at her site. Follow on Instagram. Thanks, Sophie.
Thank you.